This is Jarrod Horak, and it is Friday, October 18th, and in this video, I'm going to update the latest Breeders' Cup Classic news. The Grade 1 $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic is going to be held at Del Mar on Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. So now we're 2 weeks away from the big two-day Breeders' Cup Championships at Del Mar, November 1st and 2nd. Now the Breeders' Cup pre-entry deadline is October 21st, and pre-entries will be announced on October 23rd. And then the final entry deadline is October 28th. And at that point, we'll have the morning line odds and the post positions. Now, my annual 2-day Breeders' Cup full card analysis will be available soon at the runawayhorse.com on my sales page. And you can pre-purchase of those products now. You can get Breeders' Cup Friday, Breeders' Cup Saturday, both Breeders' Cup days, and all 4 Breeders' Cup full cards for Del Mar for Thursday through Sunday Breeders' Cup week. And I'm also covering the Del Mar full meet for their fall meet, just like I do every year. So you can purchase every day if you're interested. You get a discount on that package. You can go to the runawayhorse.com, click on the Buy Cards tab at the top of my homepage to get more details. I've been selling these Breeders' Cup full cards for many years and selling full cards in general since the late 1990s. And for these Breeders' Cup full cards, I've had a lot of success over the years. And my Breeders' Cup full card analysis will include analysis of every horse, historical trends, wagering strategies for every race, plus pick 3, pick 4, and pick 5 tickets, and pick 6 tickets as well. So go over to the runawayhorse.com for more details. Now we're going to dive right into the latest Breeders' Cup Classic news. Now, Grade 1 California Crown winner Subsanador for trainer Richard Mandella, he's going to miss the Breeders' Cup Classic. He injured his ankle at Santa Anita Park recently. No surgery required. He's going to miss 3 months of training, and he's expected to return to action next spring. Now, Preakness and Pennsylvania Derby winner Seize the Gray, he's not going to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic, according to his trainer D. Wayne Lucas. He's targeting the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile instead. Now, he did win the Grade 3 Pet Day Mile. It was a one-turn mile on the Kentucky Derby undercard earlier this spring. So he would be cutting back in that Breeders' Cup mile, which will be around 2 turns at Del Mar. He's going to be cutting back from 1 1/8 to a mile. So that should be fine for Seize the Gray. He's wired the field in the Preakness and the Pennsylvania Derby, but in that Pet Day Mile, he was able to track the pace and win that one. So if there's a lot of speed in that dirt mile, he will probably be comfortable tracking the pace, and he should have plenty of stamina running in those longer races. Now, the Breeders' Cup Classic could have as many as 20 pre-entries. We'll have to see after the pre-entries come out how many horses do pre-enter the Classic. 14 horses can run. Now we have 4 horses that captured win and you're in races, and they're guaranteed a spot in the starting gate for the Breeders' Cup Classic. And those horses are Arthur's Ride. He won the Grade 1 Whitney, City of Troy, Overseas Shipper for trainer Aidan O'Brien. He's going to be one of the Classic favorites. Highland Falls for trainer Brad Cox. He won the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup. And then Mixto for trainer Doug O'Neill. He qualified for the Classic by winning the Grade 1 Pacific Classic at Del Mar at 1 1/4 over the summer. So other top horses pointing to the Breeders' Cup Classic coming in from Japan, Derma Sotogake. He's expected to run. He was second in the 2023 Breeders' Cup Classic. Fierceness in his last 2 starts. He won the Jim Dandy Stakes and the Travers Stakes. He was your 2-year-old champion last year. Forever Young, he was a close 3rd in the Kentucky Derby. He won his prep race and his first start since the Kentucky Derby. In Japan, he ran in a stakes race at 1 1/4, the Japan Dirt race there, that Japan Dirt Classic. He was able to win that race, I think, by 1 1/4. Good solid effort, should set him up to move forward in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Newgate, he won the Grade 1 Big Cap earlier this year at Santa Anita, and then after a long layoff, he came back and he hit the board in the California Crown. So this will be his second start after a layoff. Pyrenees, he's been fairly consistent this year for trainer Cherie DeVoe. He was second in the Jockey Club Gold Cup in his last start. Sierra Leone, very consistent 3-year-old late runner for trainer Chad Brown. He won the Grade 1 Bluegrass earlier this year. He missed by a nose in the Kentucky Derby. Then he hit the board in multiple stakes races, the Belmont Stakes, the Jim Dandy, the Travers Stakes. Tapit Trice, he was my Kentucky Derby horse in 2023. He's won 2 graded stakes races this year, including last time out, he won the Woodward Stakes. And then Ushba Tesoro, he was 5th in the 2023 Breeders' Cup Classic, coming back in from Japan. He was second in his last 3 stake starts. Other possible starters: Crupi for trainer Todd Pletcher, Bill Miracolo, Next, a horse that likes to run long-distance marathon races on the main track, Rattle and Roll for trainer Kenny McPeak, Senor Buscador, a horse that has back class, but his form recently, he hasn't been on top of his game. And then Skippylongstocking for trainer Safi Joseph Jr. Last year, he finished 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. So now we'll look at the latest workouts for the Breeders' Cup Classic hopefuls. Arthur's Ride, a possible pace factor, maybe the one to catch in the Breeders' Cup Classic for trainer Bill Mott. He breezed 5 furlongs in 1:02.87 seconds, best of 2 workouts at Saratoga on October 13th. So like he did in the Whitney, he was able to get out there and control the pace, but then in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, Highland Falls confronted him early. Arthur's Ride wilted. Highland Falls won that race nicely, and now he's going to try to bounce back after winning that Whitney on a wet track. Fierceness for trainer Todd Pletcher. He had a workout on October 17th. 5 furlongs, 1:01.69 seconds, best of 3, in company with Classic Catch. His final quarter, 24.85 seconds, and he galloped out 6 furlongs in 1:14.67, 7 furlongs, 1:27.94, and then 1 mile in 1:42.57. So Fierceness, one of the top 3-year-olds in the country, and for him, he's had a lot of success when he's been able to draw outer posts, moderate paces, and he's able to either get out there and set the pace like he did in the Florida Derby, or in races like the Jim Dandy and the Travers Stakes, long shot runners set the pace. Fierceness was able to track them outside, and then when those long shot front runners got tired, he opened up a clear lead, and he was able to hold off the late runners like he did Sierra Leone and beat him by a length in the Jim Dandy, and then Torpedo Anna, he opened up a lead against the filly there, and he was able to hold on and win that Travers Stakes. So the key to Fierceness, I think that they would like to see him draw an outer post. They would like to see the pace more moderate, and he can get up there on the pace and then get a jump on the closers and try to hold on just like he did in the Travers. Highland Falls for trainer Brad Cox. He had a 5 furlong bullet in a minute flat, best of 30 at Churchill Downs on October 18th. Now Luis Saez will ride him in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Flavien Prat rode him last time out in that Jockey Club Gold Cup, but Prat's going to ride Sierra Leone in the Classic, so Highland Falls will have Luis Saez aboard. Mixto for trainer Doug O'Neill, 5 furlongs in 1:02 flat, 22nd best of 52 at Santa Anita on October 13th. He was the long shot winner of the Pacific Classic. He's going to be a long shot in here. He's probably going to track the pace. Next, 5 furlong bullet in a minute 60 seconds. That was best of 15 at Turfway Park on the all-weather surface on October 16th. Now he's going to be cross-entered in the Breeders' Cup Turf and Breeders' Cup Classic. They're going to decide which race they're going to go for. They don't know yet. They'll make up their mind after the pre-entries sometime. They'll have like a week to decide what they want to do. Pyrenees for trainer Cherie DeVoe, 5 furlongs and 59.60, second best of 11 at Keeneland on October 12th. He likes to come from a bit off the pace. He can probably sit in mid-pack. He's been consistent this year. He's definitely better, getting faster, and he's going to have to run the race of his life to compete in that Breeders' Cup Classic. Rattle and Roll for trainer Kenny McPeak. He worked 4 furlongs and 49 flat, 34th best of 119 at Churchill Downs on October 12th. He's a Churchill Downs specialist. He can run all day, and he likes to come from off the pace. Senor Buscador, one that has back class, but his recent form is suspect. 5 furlong bullet in a minute flat, best of 10 at Santa Anita on October 16th. He's going to need a fast pace in the Breeders' Cup Classic if he's going to be a contender. Sierra Leone for trainer Chad Brown. As I said, Flavien Prat's going to ride back. His most recent workout was at Belmont Park on October 12th. 4 furlongs and 48.67 seconds, 37th best of 160. Good solid work for him. He's just been in form all year. He just runs his race regardless. It doesn't matter if there's a speed bias, if he doesn't get a ton of pace help. He just always rallies from off the pace. But he hasn't won since the Grade 1 Bluegrass Stakes in April. But he's getting faster based on speed ratings. He's a horse that used to lug in, but now recently he's been much more professional. He looks like he's an improving 3-year-old, but he's definitely going to need some pace help if he's going to make some noise in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Skippylongstocking for trainer Safi Joseph Jr. 4 furlongs in 49.92 seconds, 7th best of 22 workouts at Saratoga on October 16th. As I said earlier, he was 3rd in the 2023 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. He's having a good year this year. He won the Charlestown Classic. He was 2nd in the Woodward Stakes as the beaten favorite there. So his connections, they're going to have to make a decision whether they want to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic or run in the Dirt Mile like they did last year. Now, Tapit Trice, definitely going to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic for trainer Todd Pletcher. And he worked in company with Crupi, another possible starter for the Breeders' Cup Classic. And they worked at Belmont earlier today on October 18th. And that company worked out 4 furlongs in 49.06 seconds, 23rd best of 88. Galloping out 5 furlongs in 102 flat, 6 furlongs in 114.79, 7 furlongs in 128.90. And Irad Ortiz Jr. is going to ride Tapit Trice in the Classic. And Crupi still under consideration for the Classic, but Pletcher doesn't know what he's going to do with that one at this point. Now, if you want a bonus free pick each day, go over to the runawayhorse.com, click on the Better Bets Free Picks tab at the top of my homepage. I post free horse racing picks from around the country each day. If you're interested in that, go over to my website and check that out. And then you can read all of my Breeders' Cup prep race handicapping articles over at todaysracingdigest.com in their news section. And then I'm also covering all of the Keeneland Fall Meet Stakes races on my YouTube channel this year. And through the first 14 stakes races at Keeneland, my top choices have 6 wins, 3 seconds, and a 3rd place finish. You can see the description below for links to any of the articles that I referenced in this video. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.